Within 20 seconds, we're staring at what looks like a body. Or at least, that's what two men in North Wales believe they found. A face, a skull, bones under the floor. And if what they discovered is real, it could expose one of the strangest unsolved mysteries in Welsh history. This is the story of Trevaline Evans, a 52-year-old woman who vanished into thin air on a warm June afternoon, leaving behind only a sign on her shop door that read, "Back in 2 minutes." But she never came back. It's Saturday, June 16th, 1990, in the quiet riverside town of Llangollen, North Wales. Trevaline Evans runs a charming little antique shop on Church Street, the kind of place where everyone knows her name. She's friendly, dependable, the kind of person who waves at everyone passing by. Her shop is filled with little treasures, teacups, brass clocks, vintage jewelry. That morning, she opens her doors just like any other day. Dozens of people wander through, browsing shelves, chatting about the weather. A friend even stops by with a bunch of fresh flowers. They share coffee, laugh a little, and make plans for a girls' night the following week. Everything about the day feels perfectly ordinary. But sometime around midday, something happens. Trevaline's brother stops by her shop. The door is locked. On it, a handwritten note says, "Back in 2 minutes." He shrugs. That was normal for her. She often dashed out quickly to pick something up or deliver a piece to a customer. He leaves, expecting to see her later. Hours pass. Evening comes. Her husband, Richard Evans, returns home after working all week on their retirement bungalow in another town. The plan was to meet his wife for dinner, but when she doesn't show up, Richard goes looking for her. Her car is parked near the shop. Her purse, keys, and jacket are inside. Even her makeup compact sits open on the counter, as if she'd just been there. But there's no sign of Trevaline. Richard waits, then calls police. It seems simple enough at first. Maybe she's with friends. Maybe she lost track of time. But she never turns up. And from that moment on, Trevaline Evans is gone. When police begin investigating, they start retracing her steps that weekend. Almost immediately, witnesses mention something odd. A man. A smartly dressed man. Gray-haired, about 50, wearing a navy suit, carrying a black briefcase. Several locals say they saw him walking with Trevaline the day before she disappeared. They were chatting casually on the streets, sometimes laughing, sometimes deep in conversation. Everyone thought he looked professional, maybe another antique dealer. He's seen with her again Friday afternoon, then again Friday evening, and then possibly again on Saturday, the day she disappears. But here's the thing. No one in town knows who he is, and he never comes forward. By Sunday morning, police are treating it as a missing person case, but her family fears the worst. Her son, also named Richard, a police officer himself, tells reporters his mother would never have just walked away. She had no debts, no illnesses, no reason to leave. She loved her job. She was caring for her elderly father. She had a grandchild. She was planning for the future. She wasn't the type to vanish. But vanish she did. Police combed through every inch of the town, the river, the canal, nearby caves, the hillsides.
They question hundreds of people, check hotels, track license plates. Nothing. Not a single trace of Trevaline. As weeks turn into months, her disappearance becomes front-page news across Wales. Then, rumors start to spread. Some say Trevaline was unhappy in her marriage, that maybe she had met someone else, maybe even the man in the suit. Others whisper about a secret affair, or that she'd planned to leave Richard behind and start over. But none of it adds up. Why would she leave all her belongings behind? Why walk away from her business and her car? If she did run away, she took absolutely nothing with her. Then, something strange happens. Police release a sketch of the mystery man, hoping someone will recognize him. For years, it's the only lead. But 10 years later, out of nowhere, police tell the public to ignore it. No explanation, no correction, just the sketch is inaccurate. It's bizarre, because that sketch had been everywhere, in newspapers, on TV, plastered across posters, and then suddenly it's meaningless. So what happened? Did they find out who he was and quietly clear him? Or was there more to the story? Years later, a woman named Linda, who dated Trevaline's brother Phil after she went missing, claims she recognized the man immediately. That mystery man everyone was looking for, she says it was Phil himself. If true, that changes everything. It would mean the man seen walking through town with Trevaline wasn't a stranger or lover at all. It was her own brother. Maybe they were just spending time together while he was in town. Maybe the police already knew that. Or maybe he was helping her disappear. No one knows. Phil passed away years ago, and whatever he knew went with him. But then, another twist. In 2001, 11 years after Trevaline vanished, police arrest her husband, Richard Evans. He's questioned and released the same day. No charges are filed. Police won't say why. They only confirm that the sketch of the mystery man was inaccurate and that Richard's case was under further inquiry. Then, nothing. The file goes cold again. Some people start to wonder if Richard had something to hide. After all, reports later claim he'd removed carpets and furniture from their home soon after Trevaline went missing. If you think your wife might still come home, would you strip the house bare? His behavior seemed strange, even to family members, but there was never enough evidence to accuse him of anything. Richard lived out the rest of his life quietly, dying in 2014, never charged, never cleared. Fast forward almost 30 decades, March 2019, a quiet town, a golf club, and a rumor that refuses to die. Two brothers, Andrew and Lee Sutton, are working nearby when a local tells them a strange story. Back in 1990, around the time Trevaline vanished, there was a terrible smell inside the Rudlin Golf Club, the same area where Trevaline's husband had been working on their bungalow. People complained. Staff said it was probably a dead animal under the floor. The smell eventually faded. End of story. Or so everyone thought. But when the brothers hear this, decades later, something clicks. They wonder, what if it wasn't an animal? They take a small camera, the kind used to look inside pipes, and slide it through a tiny air vent near the floor. And what they see makes their blood run cold. A skull, a spine, what looks unmistakably like a human skeleton lying under the floorboards. They snap photos of the camera screen, rush to police, and wait. Within hours, officers swarm the golf club. A trapdoor is found. It's old, rusted, nailed shut. The brothers are asked to step outside. They wait for hours. Finally, police emerge and say they found nothing. No bones, no remains, nothing. But when the brothers are allowed to recheck the vent, what they'd seen earlier is gone. The skeleton, the skull, vanished.